YouTube live about how to search and apply to grants. Now, earlier this morning, I gave you guys a full 1 hour and 30-minute live stream on how to search and apply to grants. Totally understand if you was focused on getting to work or getting things done right before you wrap up 2024. So I'm giving you guys the chance to join me right now, in the evening time, which is about to be midnight where I am here in Nigeria. And I want you guys to have the ability to ask me any questions or just literally express your concerns rather like about grants, okay? So in this live stream, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about grants, okay? Everything you need to know about grants. I'm going to go through it pretty quickly. So make sure you have your iPad, make sure you have your notebook or whatever. We're going to run through it quickly, and then I'm going to give you the floor to ask me any questions, okay? Anytime I'm talking about how to search and apply to grants, I'm pretty straightforward, all right? I'm very straightforward. Usually people don't have many questions, and I'm pretty good at answering the frequently asked questions. Towards the end of this live, I'll not only give you the chance to ask me any question regarding funding, business funding, work, any type of capital opportunities and grants, but then I'll also tell you how you can hire me for any services or book a one-on-one consultation with me, okay? Because sometimes you might need to have a one-on-one just to give yourself clarity on it. If the grant world is for you, right? All right, so grants, let's get right into it. I don't want to waste any time. Now, grants is debt-free money that we can get, no personal credit checks, no personal information needed like your name, date of birth, address, or social. All you need to do is simply put in an application for your idea. And you can get a grant opportunity for any business idea or any business industry that you want to get into, no matter what stage you are in your company. So if you are in a startup, you can get a startup grant, right? Hello Skip is giving out $10,000 to anybody who wants to start a business right now and who has a business plan. And then you have some for seasoned business owners, right? For businesses who are just simply stuck at a space where they're stagnant, right? And so they use these grant opportunities to scale. And we see those a lot as well. So you can get a grant for any reason, friend. And the cool thing about grants is that grants do not talk to each other like loans, lines of credit, and credit cards. That means that you can apply to over 100 grants in just 24 hours, and you can get approved to 100 grants every 24 hours if you please as well. And they will not talk to each other. Yes. So this is not funding that you have to pay back, right? It's grants that you don't have to pay back. It's debt free. Yeah. So with that being said, you can get unlimited amounts of funding. All you have to do is report it on your business taxes, okay? Because it is taxable income, okay? So your CPA, they should take care of that part. Now, with these grants, there are organizations, there are private sectors, there are businesses that truly want to give money out to you to start your innovation, to start your business so you can accelerate. They just want to give out the money. If you think of it like this, big companies like Microsoft, Google, Walmart, Amazon, Starbucks, right? These big companies actually need to give out these grants and stuff as charitable rewards because it assists them, it helps them on their taxes, right? You're saying yes if you hear me, because I'm so sorry about that. And I can't see your chat. So let me know, give me a thumbs up. If you can see me, if you can hear me, we can pick up where we left off. Okay. And just bear with me because I'm reconnecting to everything. Okay, perfect. We're back. Great. All right, so sorry, these are the luxuries of being abroad, specifically being in Africa. Okay, Africa is not as strong in Wi-Fi as it is on that side of the world. I pray that they get that together one day. But at this, I had to buy data, so sorry y'all for the delay. Okay, but we are back on regular schedule programming. Okay, so let me well, I'm trying to connect my Wi-Fi to everything so that way we can pick up where we left off. Okay, so let's try to do this. Turn this off. Turn it back on. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to refresh. Okay. While that's refreshing, let me get back to what I was saying. So reset the room. Hey everybody, welcome in. We talking about how to search and apply to grants, okay? And this is the last call for you to be able to get some information about this type of stuff. Grants is debt-free money you don't have to pay back. No credit checks and no personal information needed at all. And yes, you can get a grant for any type of business that you want to start or any business industry that you're already in, and you simply need some money to scale. So grants, right? You can get a grant from so many different places, like a entity, which is like Walmart and Amazon, Etsy, and DoorDash. You can get a grant from any private sector, like nonprofit. So that will be like Hello Alice, Fearless Fund, Hello Skip, places like that. And then you can also get a grant by one of those private, not private sectors, but one of those, the governments, right? The local governments. The local governments would be like, you would see them through like the SBA. You would also see these through like grants.gov. And those grants will be grants specifically for small business owners and entrepreneurs in your local area. All right. So we're going to get to it. All right. Stick with me. Get out your pens and notebooks and stuff, because I want you to write down some stuff so that way you will know how to search and apply to grants. Okay. Now, remember, grants do not talk to each other like loans, lines of credit, and credit cards. Okay, you can apply to 100, 200, 1,000 grants in one day, and you can get approved to all 1,000 of those grants in one day, and no one will ever know it. Okay, so you don't have to report it to like any credit reporting agency or anything like that, because this is debt-free money. It's simply a grant. The only due diligence you will have is to report it as taxable income on your business taxes. Okay. All right, cool. So that's that. Now let's talk about what is to come. All right. How do you properly prepare for grants and what's to come in the grant world in 2025? All right. So properly preparing for these grants. Okay. First off, these grantors, let's talk about what they're looking for. These grantors are actually looking for entrepreneurs, startups, or seasoned business owners that are resourceful, right? That know how to make something out of nothing. Right. And so what that means is, let me give you an example. If you are a person who wants to get into medical courier services, medical courier services is usually when you're delivering like medical supplies and equipments to like pharmacies and assisted living facilities and different, brick and mortars. Well, if you don't have the money right now to purchase your cargo van, right, for you to be able to take on a lot of deliveries and stuff, well, you got to start somewhere. And starting somewhere is possibly using your car that you currently have, or factoring in using like Uber and Lyft, or factoring in using like a rental, right? Like a U-Haul or, Enterprise Rental or, where have you, right? So you would factor that into what your business overhead will be. Well, on your grant application, when it asks you, how did you show grit and determination through your faces of adversity, right? Or they might ask you a question like, what have you done so far to show commitment to your business idea? Well, one way you show commitment is by simply using your resources and using your network and using what you have now to start driving in profits for the business. So they want those type of business owners who are resourceful and who's going to make something out of nothing. No matter what, you're going to push forward. You're going to do your will. You're going to do what the mission, vision, values of your company is, no matter what. And you are not dependent on anyone to get the job done. Grantors don't want somebody who's super dependent. Yes, they want you to be able to show a need for the grant, but they don't want you to solely depend on the grant in order for the life of your business to get started or in order for the life of your business to flourish. You understand? Because then that means that in your entire development process, you're going to always consistently need to depend on another opportunity without you really knowing how to, persevere through challenging times. And see, that's what grantors want. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for impactful entrepreneurs, impactful ideas, impactful services and products that will help the quality of lives of individuals in the world or just even in your backyard. Okay? So you really got to express how the mission, vision, and values of your company. All right? So this goes beyond just, oh, I want to open up a salon suite because I want women to feel more beautiful. You know how many salon suites we have, and you know how many times we've as grantors we've seen that actual answer. What differentiates your salon suites? What differentiates you from everybody else? Right? Cool. All right. So that's what the grantors are looking for. So in order for you, before you decide to apply to these grants, you need to be properly prepared. If you have a business plan, a pitch deck, right? Pitch deck is like a PowerPoint presentation of your business plan. In the 90-second pitch video, if you have these 3 key credentials, you will be properly prepared for all capital opportunities. Going into 2025, I've never seen more now than ever that most of these grant applications are requesting that you upload either a link or your actual PDF in PDF format, your full business plan. These grantors are actually not playing, all right? They're looking for seasoned, quality business owners, startups, and entrepreneurs. And that's you, so I want you to be properly prepared. You need a business plan, you need a pitch deck, and you need a 90-second pitch video. Now, I can do all of these things for you, all right? And if you stick with me until, the end of this week, then I'll give you guys like a promo, all right? Because right now I charge $300 to do the business plans and all that stuff. But I decided that I wanted to do a whole New Year's promo specifically for the month of January regarding business plans, because I noticed you guys still don't have that business plan, pitch deck, and 90-second pitch video. So I will assist you in doing those things. I will actually do your business plan and pitch deck for you. I will have a special offer for you startups in January. And, and then the 90-second pitch video, we can have a one-on-one consultation about that, on what that looks like, okay? So you don't have to worry about paying me right now to do your business plan. Just save, what you have and just enjoy your New Year's. And then, if you wait till the end of the week, I'll give you guys the promo on that and what that looks like, okay? But I just want to educate you. All right, so business plan, pitch deck, and then the 90-second pitch video, okay? All right, cool. So if you have those 3 things, you will be properly prepared, okay? Cool. Now, let's move on. To what sites do I use to search and apply to grants? The main sites that I use to search and apply to grants, get ready to write this down, is number one in the world is grants.gov. In my live stream earlier, I actually showed you guys these sites and stuff. So, I don't feel like flipping the camera over. I will show you, because towards the end of this video, I'm going to show you a grant that you can apply to. So just stick with me, okay? Grants.gov. Now, let me explain to you about grants.gov. Grants.gov is specifically for those businesses who wants to do government business, okay? So let's say you are in real estate and you want to redo an entire community. You want to build a couple of plazas. You want to do some commercial real estate. You want to just redo like a whole small town with a low population. That makes sense. Let's say you want to get a grant to help with your agriculture and farming. That makes sense. Let's say you own like some sort of national park with alligators out there in the Everglades in Florida. You can get a grant for that, right? So, it's like government funded grants. That's what you would see those in. And most of those grants in grants.gov are targeting those seasoned business owners, like at least 2 years or older, because I've noticed, like even with my clients, when I apply to these high ticket grants through there, they're asking for business tax returns. Okay, so you pretty much need to be a seasoned business owner. You will not see many startup grants there at all, to be honest with you. A lot of those grants are specifically for like personal interest projects, and then, projects that you would do with the government. All right, so that's grants.gov. We went over what the UEI number is. That's the Unique Entity Identification Number. You will need that 12-digit numeric identification code or number in order for you to be able to apply to those government-funded grants, okay? It's free for you to get, takes you less than 5 minutes, all right? So you can visit sam.gov, and then you can go ahead and apply for your UEI. Just really quick, if you guys don't know what sam.gov is, SAM, right, is an acronym for System Award Management Government. System Award Management. System Award Management, SAM. All right? System award management. So the purpose of sam.gov is that any type of government contract that you're looking for, you want to bid for, and that you win will be in your workspace. It's like a dashboard. Any government funded grant that you win will be in your workspace. Any SBA loan opportunity that you get will be in your workspace. Sam.gov, think of this like the trophy case for your business. Any opportunity that you win will be posted on your workspace, which is like a business portfolio page for the government. And so when you want to do like government contracts and you're searching for them through sam.gov and you got your UEI number and it shows that you got all these opportunities and you won all of these awards, well, that increases your chances of approvals with other opportunities. So sam.gov, okay? Don't sleep on it. If you guys want to get into government contracting, that's actually the place that you would start. Not only do you need to get your UEI number, but you also need to get what's called a cage code. Okay. Now, I'm not into government contracting. I got somebody absolutely amazing that you can go follow him on YouTube. He's an amazing person. His name is Desmond Acha. Tell him Superior Shelby sent you. Okay. He helps beginners get all up in there with the government contracts and win. Actually win. Okay. All right. So let's get to this. You say you try to send me a super chat and it won't go through. What? Look, what? I don't even know how that works. I just set the goal and I was like, let's see what this do. I don't know, y'all. I'm trying to figure this thing out too. Okay, so I wanted to school you a little bit about what sam.gov is because, you know, that is definitely a place that you should know about, a tool, a business place that you should know about. And then I also explained to you guys earlier what the UEI number is. U as in umbrella, E as in elephant, I as in igloo. And that's an acronym for Unique Entity Identification Number. So you have your EIN, which is Employee Identification Number. Your EIN will serve as your business social security number, friend. The UEI number will serve as a business driver's license, friend. That's the best way I can kind of put it. All right, EIN number, business social security number. You need to hold that tight, okay? And then UEI number, that's like a driver's license number. You know what I mean? So it's just an identification number. I want to make that very clear. Now you have to have this UEI number in order for you to get high ticket government funded grants through grants.gov. This is only for my seasoned businesses. This is not for my startups. Okay. If you're a startup, you don't have to worry about getting a UEI number and all that stuff. We can talk about that 2 years later. Okay. All right. Now, the second search engine that I want you guys to sign up for and get yourself acquainted with is grantwatch.com. Grantwatch, okay, .com. Now, GrantWatch is a $40 a month subscription, but it's totally worth it if you decide that you're going to apply to one grant a day for the next 90 days. Like if you are going to actually be militant and you're going to dedicate your time to applying to well over 90 grants, that's going to be the search engine you want to use. Grantwatch.com, okay? Grantwatch.com is super easy to use. It has all of these different categories and filters that you can put in place to find grants that are in your local area, to find grants that are tailored towards you as a business owner, and also to find grants that, serve in your business favor in your business industry and stuff, okay? All right, cool. So use grantwatch.com, all right? So Randall's like, I'm a black farmer in upstate New York. Could you email me a few grants? Hell no. The fuck? Like, do I look like I want to sit here and give you a whole list of grants for you? No, use these search engines I'm giving you. Oh, you knew? You must be new here. I'm not a person that gives you everything. No, I'm already giving you the free game. The game is free. The hustle is sold separately. You got to go execute. So visit grantwatch.com. That is going to be your search engine that you will use to find you grants for what you're doing. And then last but not least is Hello Skip. Okay, Hello Skip. Hello Skip is perfect for all of y'all who are like starting a business and you just getting started, and it would great understand about funding and stuff, and you heard about grants, but you don't really know. You don't really know how this thing goes. You don't really know how this goes. You know what I mean? Hello, Skip. Hello Skip is really gonna give you that kickstart, man. Hello Skip gonna jumpstart this grant writing process for you. I'm telling you, it's easy to comprehend, and it's an app you can put on your phone, and you can just simply scroll through. Right now, Hello Skip is giving out $10,000 to any startup. Yeah, they're giving out, and we actually got less than 24, almost less than 24 hours, less than 30 hours. I'm sorry, less than about, I think it's like a countdown on it. So we got about a couple hours left, almost 24 hours left to apply to this one, which is a $10,000 grant. That's through Hello Skip. See, Hello Skip is that federally certified nonprofit organization that helps all small business owners get capital opportunities. So it's not just grants, but it's also loans, lines of credit, credit cards, investment capital. So this is the place, this is the business funding hub. You need to be speaking with these agents. You need to be tapping in with those folks at Hello Skip. Okay? Cool? Cool. So you can use Hello Skip as a place to get started with applying to grants for yourself. Now, Hello Skip is not the end all be all. Let me explain to you what I have actually witnessed in 2024. At the beginning of this year, I gave you guys the same exact grant spiel, right? Majority of you all actually came back and told me that you have only been applying to grants through Hello Skip. Now, obviously, I'm affiliated with Hello Skip, and I got my own Hello Skip account, and I applied to grants through there too. So with that being said, I'm like, well, not every month did we get the opportunity through Hello Skip to have 30 grants. Matter of fact, March, April, and May, we only got a cool 19, 15 grants out of them. So when I heard that y'all were stopping at just Hello Skip, I'm like, well, what happened to one grant a day keeps the business debts away? I said this, one grant a day keeps the business debts away. It's a saying amongst grant writers. I'm not the one who invented it. All the grant writers say that because it's true. So if you apply to one grant a day for 30 days, well, to give you a general ratio, out of 30 grants, you should get approved to two to five. 2 to 5 grants out of 30 that you apply to. And that's simply because you're applying to 30 qualifying grants that serve in your favor, that makes sense for the life of your business where you at right now. Okay? So, free. You need to dedicate the first 90 days of 2025. Man, just do it. Just stick with it, okay? Because that's the only way you'll be able to see some results. Some of y'all got to stick with something. You got to, get dedicated to something and see it through. Trust the process. All right? Okay. So, Hello Skip is not the end all be all. Make sure you use grantwatch.com. Make sure you use all of the other search engines that I'm telling you guys about, because once you have applied to all the grants and Hello Skip, I want you to go to GrantWatch. And I want you to go ahead and create your own grant list using all of the grants out of GrantWatch, that you find through there that serve in your favor. And I want you to go ahead and apply. Okay? Okay? Cool. All right. So those are the 3 main websites that I use. Now let's talk about how you can actually get approved of these grants, okay? Now, like I stated earlier, grantors are actually looking for resourceful entrepreneurs. They're looking for somebody, they're looking for hustlers, they're looking for people who can make something out of nothing, and that's you, all right? You've been making something out of nothing all your life. All your life you had to fight. Well, you got to fight for your business too, and that's what they want to see on this application. How are you fighting for your business idea? You gotta fight for it. Let me tell you something. Can I share a little word with y'all real quick? I wrote this down. I had went to church, and look, I had went to church. I be going to church, friend. And this is something that he was in Deuteronomy. That was where this message was coming from. But the entire message was really about encouraging us to just lead in faith, and it's also trusting the process and fighting for what you believe in. So let me give you this message that I wrote down, like this download that I had when I was in church, right? Um, so I wrote down during this service, I wrote down, train your spirit so you can hear God's direction. Make movement on your journey. This shows that you can trust God. And in trusting God will unlock levels. Have faith and rise up. Have the audacity to have courage and fight. The reason why I wrote that is because I remember a time in this year where I just, like I stated before, I was feeding into my negative thoughts, which created a lot of doubts. Wasn't fearful, but created doubts in my mind. And I didn't fight. I didn't fight those negative thoughts. I didn't fight that negative energy. I didn't fight for it. I didn't fight for my business as hard as I could have this year. I'm being fully transparent with you. Okay? And so I said here, have the audacity to have courage and fight. Have the audacity to have courage and fight. Like literally give yourself the chance and fight through yourself, your own. Because at the end of the day, when you're getting into this business world, especially if you're new to this is all going to be new. So you're going to have to fight yourself a lot. A lot of old habits, a lot of old ways of thinking. You're going to have to fight your mindset and everything a lot. But you got to have courage. You got to have the audacity to have courage and fight. If you don't fight for your own idea, if you don't fight yourself to do better, if you don't fight yourself to think better of yourself, to talk better to yourself, if you don't fight for it, then guess what? How in the world do you possibly believe we're supposed to be purchasing your service or product, bruh? You ain't serious. You ain't fighting for it. And that's enough preaching. And that's enough preaching. Okay? You gotta fight for it. And if you ain't gonna fight for it, and if you ain't gonna show us that you're gonna fight for it, well, somebody else out here gonna fight for it. Somebody else gonna fight for their idea. That's why other people are getting funded through grants and you not. So you gotta fight for it. Okay? Cool. I just had to share that with y'all because it's like some of us, like I understand, like we kind of fumble the ball. We don't be consistent. I totally get it. I went through that. I'm not perfect, but I'm consistent in coming back to y'all and telling y'all I ain't perfect. I'm consistent in coming back and saying, yo, I'm consistent in letting you know that what's going on in my life. My grandma died. I'm traveling. I'm doing this. At least I'm communicating with y'all. I'm consistent on this YouTube. I'm consistent. I've been doing this YouTube for 6 years. I've been doing grants for 9. So there's some consistency there. So I'm not going to beat myself up about it. But I'm going to fight myself consistently when it's time to level up because I understand that the doors and the place that I'm going to go, I've never been there before. And so I can't automatically judge what those steps and what that will look like. I can't automatically judge myself before I even get in that room. You can't do the same thing either. That's why you got to have the audacity to have courage and have faith and fight. You understand? Cool. Book a one-on-one $47 call with me because guess what? In the next 24 hours, the $47 calls will no longer be. I'm no longer doing $47 one-on-one consultations. So text hashtag grants to 855-731-1487. I'm not going to bark at you, but if you just really want a one-on-one consultation, you really want to like really get through this mindset and really understand what's the execution strategy looking like for you, tap in on the number, okay? All right, what y'all say? I filled out several and nothing came through. Then we got to go to the drawing board. And so I'm happy that you said that because when you're applying to grants, it's important for you, I talked about this earlier, to have a spreadsheet, right? Because a spreadsheet would totally give you clarity and reassurance on how many grants you applied to and what was your success rate, right? So if you've applied to, let's say, because, I mean, you can let me know, if you've done the spreadsheet, do you know how many grants that you've actually applied to? Because see, the spreadsheet will tell you exactly how many grants you applied to. And then so if you see on your spreadsheet that you've applied to like a whole bunch of grants, like 50 grants, and you haven't gotten out one, and I explained to you the general ratio. that if you apply to 30 grants, 30 qualifying grants that's serving your favor and your idea, right? And it makes sense. If you apply to 30 of those, you should get at least 2, right? So if you apply to 50 and you haven't gotten not one, all right, then we need to go to the drawing board. There's a couple questions I have. I want to ask you, what types of grants are you applying to? How much are how much are these grant opportunities, right? How deep did you dive into that grant? Did you look at the frequently asked questions? Did you go into the terms and conditions and look at the guidelines of how, they grade, like they have a grading score and a grading scale? Did you take a look at that so that way you can tailor your answers specifically for the scoring board for how they're grading you, right? How many out of those 50 grants that you applied to were grants that you would get approved of through like a raffle, right? So you got to ask, it's a couple of factors here you got to take in consideration when we are talking about you applying to grants. There's 4 different ways you could win a grant. I'm happy we're going into this. One way is through like a pitch competition. So you guys know Shark Tank with Damon John and Mark Cuban and stuff. You just talk about your service or product. But you got pitch competitions out here that'll give you hundreds of thousands of dollars. And in most cases, you don't stand in front of an audience. You actually get on a Zoom call for 15 minutes and you talk about your service or product and the mission, vision, values of that. Then the second way you can win a grant is through like a random raffle or drawing. And I think a lot of you guys are applying to those type of grants, and you would see a lot of those type of grants as well on Hello Skip too. All right. Then you have judgment grants. So you have grants where they actually judge you based on the answers that you provide. So they will give you like in the terms and conditions of that particular grant opportunity, they will tell you like, they will give you like a grant judging criteria, like type of guideline type of thing. And it will let you know, okay, we are grading you on, your need, right? 10% of this grading scale is we need to see that your business has a need for the grant. And let's say 30% goes into your traction or, your business model, like explaining your business model. And then let's say another 30% is into your idea and the development process of that. Like it will tell you that whole entire like grading criteria, right? So those are judgment grants, and you see a lot of those actually through Hello Skip, and Hello Skip will provide a lot of them, but mostly they're like third party. And then so when you go through Hello Skip and you click on the external link to go visit the actual grants website, well, you will see that you can look at the frequently asked questions and you can dive deeper into the grant. Okay, so those are like judgment grants. You want to make sure your answers are on those type of grants. You want to make sure your answers are polished, professional, and thorough. Okay? Tell us a time when you show grit and determination and you persevere through your faces of adversities. Right? So that's they're looking for those. They ask questions like that, right? So those are judgment grants. And last but not least, you can win a grant through a first come, first serve opportunity. Now we like those. We like those because those are the more easier grants to get. Where would you find these first come, first serve grants? Well, these are the local specific area grants. These are the grants for like, if you in your local area, your city, state, in town, in your zip code, in your zone, right? And then how you would usually find them is like they would be posted in like a newsletter through like the SBA or through like your state small business development center. Right? And I talked about this once before, but each state has a SBDC. All right, that's a small business development center. Everybody has one. You got Florida SBDC. You have Georgia SBDC. You have Texas SBDC. You have California. Well, it says Cal, so it's CA SBDC. And then you have like NY, so it's New York SBDC. You have Virginia SBDC. You have so every state has their own small business development center. And if you go to those small business sites that are like those government sites, well, they'll tell you what government, funded opportunities are coming in your specific area. You can also go as far as to go into the SBA website and stuff like that, or grants.gov or where have you, and you can put in the zip code of your area. Okay? Cool. So you got that. Okay. Those are the 4 ways that you can actually win a grant. Now, those are the 4 ways you can win a grant, but what's the best ways for you to increase your chances of approvals with grants? All right. The best ways for you to increase your ability to get approved to grant is literally by consistently applying. Because if you have the business plan, the pitch deck, and the 90-second pitch video, you're properly prepared. If you're using grants.gov, grantwatch.com, and HelloSkip, well, you're using some very reputable grant search engines. And you have more than enough grant opportunities that you can search and apply to. So now it's all about you just consistently applying. Okay? So that's how that works. When you consistently apply, with these grants, it's like the more the merrier type of thing. Most small business owners, especially startups, especially Black small business owners, they don't really like to get into grants because the turnaround time is not quick enough for them for their financial urgency at the moment. And then they don't have the time, right? Or it can also be a thing where they don't have the time, or, they just simply aren't interested because, it's a thing where it's like it's no guarantees, right? Think of this like this. This is the best analogy I can give you. Okay? The man that goes to the gas station or the corner store that buys a beer and buys a scratch off every day has more likely a chance to hit the lotto than you do. Wanna know why? Because he is consistently going to that same corner store and gas station every day, giving himself the chance every day. Giving himself the chance every day at potentially winning the lotto, the big bucks, the big tickets, $100 million, $1 billion, whatever the lotto would be. It's the same exact analogy. If you don't give yourself the chance at potentially winning one of these grants and applying to it every day, then guess what? Somebody else doing it. And clearly people are winning these grants. All types of different, no matter what race, gender, ethnic group, or sexuality you're from, everybody's winning a grant. You just have to be consistent. That's all it is. You just have to literally be consistent. Okay? That's the best analogy I can give you. So even though you might feel like, oh, it's not a quick turnaround time. And regarding the turnaround time, guys, just to give you a clarity on this, the logistics of how it works. Okay, you would find the grant online. You would submit the application online before the deadline date. So the deadline date is very important because you have to wait 30 days. You have to give, this is just generally speaking, you have to give the grantors 30 days after the application deadline date to let you know if you are selected for the grant opportunity or not. In most cases, the grant itself would actually tell you on the landing page or on the main grant page when they will notify the winners, when they will make an announcement of the winners. So on your spreadsheet that you create, you want to make sure you specify the actual application deadline date. And you also want to specify the day that you need to check your email. Grantors will never call you. All right. They will never, ever, 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 never, ever, never, ever, never call you. They will never call you. That's a scam if they do. They will never call you. Okay. They will always email you. They will email you. They don't always, 89% of the time, so 90% of the time, they don't email the people who didn't win, all right? So 90% of the time, if you have lost, or not lost, but if you weren't approved, right, if you were not selected for the grant, they will not email you and tell you were not selected. You want to know why they don't do that? Because they don't want to discourage you in not applying for the opportunity the following month or the next time it comes around. They don't want to discourage you. So they don't want to, then also they want to save the hassle of trying to tell you why you didn't get approved, because to be honest with you, they most likely can't even tell you. It's literally made the best business win. And if that other business that you're in competition with is properly prepared and can show some experience and can show a little bit more, then, hey, it's even playing field. And going into 2025, it's an even more even playing field, according to the presidential administration, considering we don't have diverse equity inclusion opportunities anymore, right? That's not going to be funded. So that means with all grant opportunities we're going to be going for, there's going to be a plethora, a whole bunch of grants out here. But you got to remember that you're going to be competing with now the smartest, the rich, and the well-connected. So that means you got to be properly prepared. You got to be militant on making sure that you are consistently applying to these and giving yourself the chance. Okay. All right, cool. And then, like, I totally get it. All right. You give up. So what I was saying is you give them 30 days. And so give you an example. Let's say today's the deadline date. Actually, today's the deadline date for a lot of grants. Today is the deadline date for, let's say, the $5,000 honeycomb credit grant, and that is today, all right, December 31st. Well, it's December 31st for me. Right now, it's midnight. It's 12:19. For y'all, it's probably like 6 o'clock. So, so if the deadline date is like December 31st, well, then you need to wait until January 31st to see if you were selected for the grant. You got to give yourself that chance, right? You got to give yourself that time. You have to give the grantors that time to be able to review your application and review everything. Okay, so that's kind of how the timeline works. And I totally get if you guys haven't been applying to grants because you aggressively need money right now. Then if you are a person that aggressively needs money, then you just make sure you have your personal credit and stuff together so that way you can go for those quick turnaround, like those quick loans, right? Those quick cash advances, those quick, capital loans, working capital loans or income-based loans and stuff, like, you know what I mean? Because those are like the quick things that you guys are looking for. Like, but if I can be totally like transparent with you, nothing in this business world is gonna like come quick and easy. That's not how this works in the business world, and I regret to inform you. But welcome to entrepreneurship. Nothing on this side of the fence is a quick turnaround time and quick, and easy. That's not how this works. Business is not easy. It's not set up that way. All right. When you get into business, this is literally it's the jungle. That's the best way I can put it. Lions, tigers, and bears. All right. That's the best way I can put it. And so many businesses that we've been able to see grow and flourish, right? Especially Black businesses, when they get to a certain point, yeah, they got to fight for their business because you got business giants and monopolies that are literally going on right now. But so many of you all haven't gotten that far in business to even know who your competition is and who can monopolize on you. And what you would do in that situation if, let's say, you sell body soaps, right? And now Dove wants to buy your body soaps for like, I don't know, $5 million. What you gonna do in that situation? You gonna fold for the 5 mil? You don't know. You don't know. Because you don't know what you would have possibly been through in your life of business at the time. You might be tired. You might be tired of producing soaps. You might be like, all right, Dove, y'all got it. And then some will think that you are selling out. And really, that's not the case. Business is made to be developed and to be sold. It's not to be developed and to be held. I know in the Black community, that's like a really big thing for us. But no, you're supposed to build a business investment portfolio. That's the whole point. You don't invest, you don't do one and done thing. Like, did y'all know Nestle owns like over 2,000 brands in over 137 countries? Nestle, like the Nestle. I can go in there right now and I can bring out like at least 5 Nestle products that y'all will be like, what? I didn't know Nestle owns that. Nestle owns coffee. Nestle owns oats, wheats and oats and stuff. Nestle owns freaking Milo, the Milo cubes, right? Nestle owns so much. They got a portfolio. It's the same thing. That's how we gotta move, right? So if you have a trucking business, well, you don't want that to be the end all be all. You don't want that one business to be the only one business. Because what if your kids don't want to run a trucking business? What if they want to get into real estate? What if they want to get into engineering? What if they want to get into tech? Right? And so you can't rely on your family to be always there. We see it all the time where you have some family where the father has worked super hard and then the son just simply does not have interest in it. And so the business just, it's gone now. It's already sold. And this happens all the time, especially in the Black community for sure. Right? It really does happen all the time. So you can't always be reliant on family when it comes down to that situation. So what I'm saying is you got to have a portfolio. You got to have more going on than just that one business idea you came up with. Okay. And that also will increase your chances of opportunities. Okay. Cool. We talked about a lot. We talked about what a grant is, how to search and apply to a grant, the best ways for you to increase your chances of approvals. I want you guys to ask me any questions that you might have. I want to, while you're dropping your questions down below regarding like grants and things like that, let's go ahead and go over it. This is my last 24 hours on doing $47 101 Zoom consultations. All right. This is my last 24 hours of doing that. So if you want to book a one-on-one consultation with me, I'm a 71% successful grant writer. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I've been writing grants for a long time. And if you just want some clarity on your grant writing journey, what you have done, what has been effective, what hasn't, if you want to know more about grants and if this world is for you, if you want to know how to hire me, I'm about to get into that in a minute, but you can also book the consultation. So the number down below, you can text me #grants to 855-731-1487. This is my last 24 hours, the last call, the last, 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 no burner boy. This is the last call, okay? So $47, that's all it is. Super worth it. It's a recorded Zoom call, and it's 45 minutes, and literally we go over everything. Any questions or concerns you have regarding your business development process, okay? So this is the last $47, 24 hours is the last 24 hours you can actually get that offer. After that, that's it, okay? All right, cool, because I got a lot of projects that I need to focus on. All right, I'm over here in Africa, and I got stuff I got to do. I'm helping these folks out over here, okay? God has called me to be over here, okay? All right, so let's get into how you can hire me, a 71% successful grant writer, and my team to search and apply to grants for you. All right, cool. So we went over what a grant is and how to search and apply to grants, blah, blah, right? And one of the key things I said is you need to have a business plan, a pitch deck, and a 90-second pitch video. Well, you can always, reach out to me and I can write the business plan for you. All right. So if you want me to do your business plan and pitch deck for you, then on Friday, not Friday, but what's tomorrow? Oh, today's Tuesday for me. So on Wednesday, I will give you guys a brand new Year offer, which is literally 50% off on getting my team and myself to write a business plan for you in a pitch deck. Okay. All right, cool. 50% off. That will be on Wednesday. Today's Tuesday for me, but that will be on New Year's Day. Okay, so that's that. If you don't have a business plan, if you don't have a pitch deck, then that's okay. I will do it for you. All right, and I will actually do it for you instantly on live starting New Year's Day. Okay, so be here New Year's Day or be here for the rest of the week. Okay, and you'll be able to take on that offer. 2. Now, if you already have a business plan, and I know you're going to ask the question, do I need a business plan to apply to grants? Yes, you do. If you don't have one in 2025, they're not going to take you seriously. Majority of these grant applications are asking you to upload your business plan. They are not playing. Matter of fact, the Hello Skip grant right now, you cannot submit that application without uploading your business plan. Okay? So, there you have it. Yes, you need a business plan in order to apply to grants because they won't take you seriously. Now, if you have your business plan and you're ready to go, and you properly prepare, friend, and you just simply don't have the time, right, to do this, or you do have the time, but you simply don't want to do it, right? I totally get it. You can always hire me to do this for you. Now, I explained to you how this works. I cannot guarantee that you can win a grant simply because as a certified grant writer, we can't say that, right? We can't guarantee you any type of opportunity. That's just like illegal in our world. I can't say that I can guarantee you a grant at all. No, it's a gamble. It's a lotto. But think back to the analogy I gave you. The person who gives himself the chance at possibly winning an opportunity every day will most likely get that opportunity versus you who only taps in, 1 or 2 times a year. Okay, so this is something you got to be consistent with. Now, if you are looking for someone like myself to be consistently applying to grants for you, well, I have a grant writing subscription for you. It's in 3 tiers, okay? Tier 1. Tier 1, you will pay $150 and I will apply to 5 grants for you on a monthly basis. Okay? Tier 2, and what comes with that is, Tier 1, is you will get 2 consultations. A consultation before I apply to the grant so we can go over the list of 5 grants that I chose for you, make sure you like them, and then a consultation after, which is like a grant debrief, and we go over the 5 grants I applied to for you. So that's $150 a month, and you have to commit to 2 months in order for, before you decide you might want to cancel or whatever, okay? It has to be 2 months commitment with all of these. Now, Tier 2. Tier 2 is when I apply to 15 grants for you, all right, and that's $399 a month. And with the 15 grants, you'll get the 2 consultations, and you'll also get that sense of community. You get like the WhatsApp group as well as the Facebook group. So it's a Facebook group entirely, to be honest with you, a community group. You will join that. That way we can talk about wins. We can talk about what's going on in this grant situation. We can just communicate, okay? And then you have Tier 3, which is my most highly requested. Tier 3 is when I'm doing the whole shebang for you. 1 grant a day keeps the business debts away. Absolutely. That's what Tier 3 is all about. Tier 3 is when I'm applying to 30 grants a month for you. That is 1 grant a day. All right. Now you get the 2 consultations, you get the community, but you also get my personalized WhatsApp number. I talk to my mama on WhatsApp. Okay, so that means if you get my WhatsApp number, this is serious. Now, the one-on-one WhatsApp number, the purpose of that, honestly, is because I'm applying to so many grants for you, and I'm so like on your grants, like I'm so seriously on your grants that I really need your communication. Okay, so the WhatsApp chat will be for me and you to constantly communicate, and I might need some like a logo, or I might need something really quick, so you can just send it to me in WhatsApp instead of trying to like email it to me. You know what I mean? And if you want to get to me, WhatsApp is where I'm at. All right. So my team and myself as well is my toll-free number, which is the 855 number. So if you want to take advantage of any of these like services I just told you about, from me writing a business plan and stuff for you, or the possible tiers of me applying to grants for you, all you got to do is text #grants. Book a one-on-one consultation with me. We can talk more deeply about it. All right. Or you can shoot me a text to my number, 855-731-1487. And you can say, hey, I'm interested in one of your tiers. Can you give me a little bit more information about it? Okay, cool. All right, so let me see what types of questions you guys have regarding, like, how to search and apply to grants and all of that good stuff. Let me see what's going on. I have just subscribed to ChatGPT, Runway ML, and Clean AI to start AI movie production. How close am I to applying for a grant? So what do you mean by how close? Like, I'm not sure exactly how that question works. Like, are you trying to figure out, like, because you just explained to me that you downloaded all of these AI tools and you signed up for it, but you're asking me, how close am I to applying for a grant? I don't know. I'm confused on that question because it just kind of like doesn't make sense. Yeah, I'm confused on that question. I hope you can kind of like elaborate a little bit. Are you able to help new nonprofit organizations? Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, I help all startups, innovators, tech companies, nonprofit organizations, schools. Okay, I help you guys, all of you guys. In lieu of a business plan, I would Suffice for a 501c3 profit. Wait, what was the suffice for a 501c3? So are you asking me like, okay, if you're in the middle of doing a business plan, like what would, so like, I know, are you asking me like, would, can you get a grant for like a 501c3 nonprofit? Like, I'm sorry, Ralph. I didn't comprehend it. I'm going to need that to be a little bit more simplified for me. And I don't have any shame in saying that, Ralph. How much is tier 3? $5.99 a month. $599 a month. Okay, so producing my first movie shortly. Is this too early to apply for a grant? Say my bad. No, it's never too early. It's never too early. You can apply to a grant at any stage that you are in your company, whether you are in the startup phases or you are in the middle or you're a seasoned business. I've applied to 7 grants over 5 years, never been approved for any of them. You haven't applied to enough. 7 grants over 5 years, that is not enough at all. The grant ratio, Johnson Family Adventures, is if you apply to 30 grants in 1 month, you should get approved to at least 2. All right. So you've only applied to 7 over 5 years and you've never been approved. But how could you possibly think that you're going to get approved to a grant that you've only applied to like you're not giving yourself the chance every day, right? You're just applying every now and again. And it's because you don't see the value in applying to grants. Maybe it's because it's like when you do apply, you don't get approved and you don't understand that this is a competition, right? It's a competition. That's what it is. And it's may the best man win, and you're not the best man to win. Because if you was the best man to win, then you will be militant and you will be vigilant on exactly how and what's going on and be aware of how to do this thing with the grants. You will be consistent. But that's cool. You're here now and you have learned. Right? You have learned. So now you can take everything that we discuss here and you can give yourself the chance. Remember the analogy. I don't care if he a crackhead. I don't care who this person is. The person who goes inside of the corner store in the gas station, 7-Eleven, Wawa, and buys the same beer and that same raggedy scratch off every day is most likely to hit on one of them scratch offs versus you. And that's because he's consistent. You know what I mean? He's giving himself the chance, and that's how you win grants. Consistency is how you win grants. It's not, you don't win a grant by applying and may the best answer win. No, it's by consistently applying. If you know that it's a gamble, if you know that it's a competition and there's no guarantees in you winning, then you have to apply to as many opportunities that serve in your favor, because the more the merrier. You never know. Yes. I didn't have a business plan for the nonprofit. What would I use? I didn't have a business plan. So for a nonprofit, you guys don't have a business plan, right? Because a business plan is for businesses, and business is a for-profit entity. So for nonprofits, you would have what's called a project roadmap, right? So whatever your nonprofit organization is doing and the entire purpose of your nonprofit. Well, if you are going to do, let's say you're going to do like some sort of community event, well, you need to have like you need to have a project roadmap. You need to have a project plan, right? And so the project plan needs to outline like what the mission, vision, values of your 501c3 nonprofit, and then what do you guys have to come, and then like what needs to be funded. Okay, so, and then also who you decide that you want to partner with. Who's your potentials, other nonprofit organizations that, you see that you can collaborate with, like all kinds of stuff. Like that project roadmap needs to be very thorough. So that way, when you're asking for money, they're not questioning it. Like, they know that, okay, this is what they do. He wants to do like a winter wonderland thing to give out, like toys for tots or whatever. Okay, cool. So he's going to partner up with a Blue Cross Blue Shield and the American Heart Association. Okay, fine. And then the timeline for this, he plans on giving out toys, the weekend of Christmas. So that's like in order to properly prepare, to get this many bikes. Like in your project pitch, it needs to be like, oh, we want to get 100 bikes, and 100 bikes will cost us this. We want to get some game consoles. We want to get this. We want to do raffles. So you need to explain exactly what that project will be. It's called a project roadmap. And yeah, once you have that, that will serve as that document when you are applying to 501c3 nonprofit organization grants. And there's tons out here. There's tons out here. Could I get a grant for an Airbnb business? It all depends on exactly what you're going to do. Usually no. And the reason why is simply because Airbnb is just that extra stream of income for most people. It's not really a big business. And then also it's real estate, right? Real estate is just one of those high earning industries where you have to come with money to play, right? You got to pay to play type of situation. So you will not see grants for real estate at all to get started in real estate or even to accelerate in real estate because it's a high earning industry. You guys should already have that together. You know what I mean? Most people who get into real estate, they actually even if they're mom and pop, they would take out a home equity line of credit, or they would have some sort of asset that they can borrow on, right? And so once they borrow on that asset, then they get their real estate portfolio started from there, or they simply come to the table already with good credit, right? And good income. So, I'm letting you know that because Airbnb is in real estate, and in the real estate industry, there is not grants because this is one of those industries that you got to pay to play. Okay, it's full of assets, full of money. It's a lot of politics behind that. So no. And then so in Airbnb too, grants, think of it like this. Grantors want to fund business ideas and business products and services that are impactful. So Airbnb is not impactful unless you decide to develop some sort of program to provide housing for the homeless. And let's be real, you actually got into Airbnb to drive in profits. So that will be more of a nonprofit feel. So let's say if you have a nonprofit and you want to partner up with other Airbnbs to be able to provide housing for the homeless, now you can get a grant. But if you are getting a grant to start an Airbnb business or getting a grant for your Airbnb to develop, no, it just all depends on what's going to differentiate you in your Airbnb business. How are you going to be impactful to others? Okay. Let's say, can you help develop a project roadmap / plan for a nonprofit? Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Or you can do it. You can do it. Why you won't do it? Why you won't do it? It's yours. I don't know anything about your nonprofit. You can do it. I love working with startups and startups, but now in 2025 I'm actually changing that. But I like to work with seasoned businesses, tech companies. So in 2025 I'm actually changing the conversation. That's why the title of this live is Last Call. That's why this is the last call for $47 one-on-one consultations. Thank you so much, Jesse. Because from this, after these 24 hours, starting Wednesday, right? That's it. The conversation about how to search and apply to grants is not going to be I'm not going to be talking about that anymore. I'm going to move the conversation to investment capital, incubators, and accelerator programs. I'm going to show you guys a totally new world of capital funding, and I'm going to make you guys realize that there's more to this funding world than just loans, lines of credit, and credit cards and grants, right? You have incubators, you have accelerator programs. And so I'm going to be targeting more tech companies and tech ideas. And the reasons for why is because in 2025 and beyond, majority of the funding, majority of the capital is going to go towards tech ideas and tech companies. Why? Because 2025 starts a whole new world order. 2025 starts a whole new world, right? That generation that's going to be born in 2025, they're called the beta generation, which means that generation will actually see the 22nd century. Yeah, 22nd or 23rd century. Yeah, they'll be able to see that. All right. So, because we're going into this new world. We got all these robots, and we got people that want to put chips in our minds, and we got drones everywhere, and we got all kind of stuff going on right now. Because I know y'all see the Shade Room and Baller. Like, I know y'all seeing this stuff. All right. So with that being said, you got to be vigilant on understanding that things are completely changing. And so tech companies are what's in favor because that's where we're going. Digital, 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 digital for everything. So I want you guys to start to develop on your products and services. I want you guys to go beyond, just kind of like where you are, as far as in like, say, like, let me say this in the most respectful way possible. While barbershops, hair salons, eyelashes, estheticians, wig consultants, facials and all that good stuff, right? While they all have their place in the industry, it's actually as far as in funding and in business and stuff, it's calling for a higher. It's calling for tech. You know what I mean? It's calling for innovation. It's calling for something new. All right, innovation. Okay, so if you are doing hair, and you've been, owning your hair salon, or you've been behind the chair for the last 15, 20 years, well, have you thought about creating some sort of, hair tool or some sort of comb or some sort of serum that will allow your entire process to be easier? Like, for example, like certain like net wig caps, we see so many people that are creating different like flat irons and stuff. Have you guys thought about that? Have you thought about creating a new app or a new software booking app, So that's where I'm saying, right? You can be in that industry. You can be in hair and beauty. You can be in that industry of trucking. You can be in the industry of the healthcare. But we're calling for innovation. It's time to level up. If you're going to do your lawn care service, if you're going to wash cars, well, can you create a buffer that's like, not hard to handle? A portable buffer or something. I don't even know if they got that. Can you create a not so harsh chemical, but a chemical that's not harsh on your physical skin, but it's going to take the grit and the rust off of the tires? That's science. That's innovative. That's development. Can you create? So, while the industry that you're in, it's time for us to be innovative. It's time for us to change. It's time for us to create some products and services inside of these industries that will make the process or the business model easier. Even if you are on the business side of things, right? So, like I said, say you in trucking and transportation. I used to do car hauling with my ex. Y'all know the whole story, okay? I did that. Whoever in the trucking industries, I salute you, because that is not an easy game, okay? I had 2 semi trucks. We did car hauling. And so in the trucking industry, right, let's say on the business side of things, you might want to create a better software or a better app for communicating amongst different truck stops, right? You might want to do something like that. So you understand where I'm getting at? Hair, like I gave a really great, even if you're into childcare, right? Childcare. Say you want to create an app that can literally, once the child gets on your childcare bus, before you get to the daycare, each child that comes on, right? You can, manually put in the app that this child is with you, or you got checking attendance for the child, right? Or you scan some sort of QR code on their book bag. There should be a tag on their book bag, and that will automatically check them in. And then once they check them in inside of this childcare app, guess what? The parent automatically gets a notification knowing that the child is with the childcare provider, and that they can go pick up the child whenever they get off of work, or whenever, right? The child is ready for pickup. That's no different from doing Amazon tracking delivery, but you're doing that on your child. You know what I mean? So, but you can create something like that in that particular field. So I'm giving those examples with saying that being in the fields, being in the easy to make money fields that's not the problem. It's just about being innovative, and it's just about changing the life of what that business flow is. Okay? Enhancing it and making it impactful. Cool? All right. I have three companies: tech, transportation, and real estate. Awesome. 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 I see where you're going. You're very creative. Awesome. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so very much. All right. So, any like last questions? You know, this is the last. Now, hey, everybody, go try to break fast. Listen. Okay, this is the last call. Any last questions that you guys might be having? You know. Go ahead and drop them down here. Oh, my internet's been acting really slow. It's wild. Okay. Any last questions that you guys might have? I'm trying to refresh my screen here. All right, so I'm so excited to talk to you guys about investment capital and what that looks like, because investment capital opportunities is when you can actually get, like, imagine having somebody like a partner or like an investor that you can always go to and tell them that you need money. So you like you want a guaranteed funding opportunity. That's one right there, and that's what I'm trying to put y'all on to. Because grants is no 100% guarantee, but if you have yourself properly prepared, you can get this investment capital, and when you get an investor, you can that's gonna be your mom and pop. You're gonna always go back to the investor. That's like, having a sugar daddy on hand, on speed down. I hate to say it that way, but in all reality, it kind of serves in your favor. It works that way, right? When you are developing and and that investor sees the vision, they understand how much they need to invest, right? And if you just so happen that you need more money for another phase, because with investors, you go in phases, right? So after you've done phase one and you're going into phase two, and you need to have like more funding, and the funding might be, or the capital request might be more than what phase one was, then I mean, like, the investor has understanding of that, because you most likely went through your entire roadmap, and all of your phases and how much it costs and what that looks like. So having an investor is definitely like something I want to introduce that idea to you guys, because if you want to be able to always have a capital opportunity, working capital for you to be able to scale, having an investor is something that you should not sleep on. All you're doing is giving them a piece of your company, a return on your investment, and honestly, that ain't doing nothing but helping you out, because especially if you partner up or you get an investor that is well connected, okay? So yes. How to grow, how to get customers. Ideas are nothing if no one uses it. We think it's innovative, but what does a customer think? Absolutely. So, and that's really good. How would you know what a customer thinks? How would you know what is needed in the market? You literally ask. You do market research. And then we got all this AI. You can literally ask GPT. But aside from that, you can do your own research personally, and you can take a look at just even start in your small area, right? And see how many people would be requesting this. See, I'm a type of girly that I get from behind the camera. I get from out from in front of the camera. I go outside, and I will literally go outside with taking polls. And I would be like, hey, would if there was something like this, would you be interested in it? But you can't be afraid to get out there and just ask questions. You're just taking a poll to see how many people, like 1 in 10 people, or 5 in 10 people, or 3 in 5 people would rather have some sort of innovation, or your innovation, right? So you got to get out there and do that. You got to do the market research. And you don't want to get into something that is just like, for you personally, you feel like, you know what I mean? You personally feel like, oh, this is what's needed because this is what you're going through personally, and you believe that other people are going. Yes, there's some other people that's going through that, but you got to look at the market, right? What is the potential for you going commercial, right? Can you commercialize your idea? Can you make it global? Can you make this product or service for everyone, not just only US based customers? You don't want to limit yourself. You see me, I expanded my business globally. I'm here in Africa, but I'm also taking in-person consultations, and I'm also helping with grants out here too for government officials. So, it's different out here. We think that it's innovative, but what does the customer think? Exactly. It's not what the customer thinks neither, because innovative means this is something new. You're a pioneer. It's never been done before. So if you rely on what the customer thinks, think about it like this. That would not be also a good idea, simply because, like, the customers never really had this innovation before. That's why you got to do the poll, and you got to ask them. The way you would ask them that is, like, about your idea is like, if you were in this situation, would you like to have this solution? If you were facing this problem, would you like to have this solution? You just get polls. But at the end of the day, doing more research outside of just your city and state as well would help you out with gaining clarity on if that innovation is needed. All right. Hey, how do you get an investor? Being properly prepared and simply reaching out. Getting an investor is not like simply putting in applications. No, you actually have to put in the footwork of developing your entire list of who, like, I call it a grassroots list. So you need to create a grassroots list of people, of like, investors that invest in businesses like yours and invest in ideas similar. So, for example, if you have like a tech idea where you want to go with, I'm going to give you an example, Generator, right? Generator is a accelerator program that they always give out, like, usually like $100,000, and they ask for 7%, 6% equity in your company. So, like, you can go for one of those, and you would, that one is, you would apply, but then you would have to, like, have a conversation with them, right? They want to have a Zoom call. They want to dive deeper into what your idea is, and then they would determine on whether or not you, like, are good for their accelerator program, right? Or if you're good for their venture capitalist, like, program, like, or whatever, like, whatever their program is, because every accelerator program is different. Every investment opportunity is different as well. All right. And so I'm going to dive deeper into that going into 2025. We'll talk more about that. I don't want to really talk about it here because obviously we are focused on how to search and apply to grants. And this is the last call for that. Okay. Cool. All right. Any last questions that you guys might have regarding grants? Like, I'm hoping that I went through everything that you possibly needed, like, regarding this matter. Okay, everything that you possibly needed. I hope you got that, everything. All right, so I'm open up the floor. Last, any questions that you might have? You guys, I've been trying to reconnect this internet on my laptop for literally the last hour and some minutes and change. Okay, so remember, you can get me to write your business plan, all that stuff. It will be 50% off to have me write a business plan instantly for you live on YouTube on January 1st. For the entire month of January, I'm going to be doing that. And then also, you can hire me to write grants for you. I have 3 different tiers. You can pay me $150 a month, $399, or $599 a month. The higher the tier, the more expensive, the more you get. And then lastly, you can always book a one-on-one consultation with me. Right now, my consultations are going for $47 only for the next 24 hours. Okay. Well, 24 hours for me, and up until January 1st. Okay. And let me see here. Yeah. Any last questions? I want to make sure you guys, like, and I've asked this question before, but I always ask this question: what was your grant writing journey like? But so many of y'all have, like, the similar story, so that's why I'm pretty consistent in trying to make you understand that this is a thing where you have to be consistent. Thank you for setting me up this year. I've completely reconstructed everything. Oh, thank you. Of course. Okay, so cool. Perfect. Hi, I would like to ask for a grant, please, or a grant, please. Well, I'm not a grantor. I don't give out money. So you would have to visit helloskip.com. What should we have already before making the one-on-one appointment? So the one-on-one consultation is literally like you don't have to be properly prepared for that. Just have questions ready, okay? Because questions it will help you gain clarity. So there's nothing that you need to be properly prepared for these consultations. Like literally, just come with questions, okay? That's it. Literally come with questions so that way I can answer them. Because if you don't have any questions, then I don't even know what you need. Yeah. I used to do that where I would ask like probing questions. And let me tell you something, my clients used to be like, I don't like booking consultations with you because you're always asking too many questions before we get into consultation. So guess what? I stopped doing that. I stopped doing it. And what I did was I just decided to allow you guys to steer the boat in these consultations. So when you book a one-on-one with me, just come with questions and you know, I'll be more than happy to assist. You're very welcome. Very welcome. Yes, I am not a person. I'm not the grantor. I'm not the one who's giving out the grants. I'm just the grant writer. I assist you in searching and applying to grants. That's what I do. I've been doing this for 9 years. I have a 71% successful grant writing rate. I really do love that I have that. And I would love to increase that. So that's why I'm changing up the vibes. Mm, okay, cool. Okay, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. All right. I see you guys are texting hashtag grants. If there is no further questions, we have been on here for a good little minute, like an hour and 20 minutes or so. You've gotten a lot out of me today. This was my second live that I did today. I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss anybody. I did a live stream earlier this morning, okay, and which was like 9 10 a.m. y'all time, and then I also did a Oh, okay, that's cute. It just like literally redid. Okay, that's cute. And then yeah, I'm sorry. I just got distracted. I just refreshed my screen. I was like, "Oh, okay, that's cute that it does that." What were you saying? How much is the one-on-one consultation right now? Is $47. It will only be $47 up until December, the end of December 31st. When January 1st comes, I'm no longer doing $47 one-on-one consultations. All of the information that you need, if you pay attention to my live streams and all of this content that I have, 6 years worth of content. Even if you just watch the most recent videos, you will get everything you need to know. All right, so um, yeah, I decided to change up things because it's time to change up, you guys. It's time to increase the get more higher level conversations. I love the startups. I love you guys, but it's just time to grow. I'm kind of like burnt out with startups. I love y'all, but everything that you need to know is here live. Is here on YouTube for free, and you can also use so many different AI tools to search and apply to grants for yourselves. But I'm looking for those seasoned business owners who are serious and who have the capacity and the means to be able to be consistent in my services. All right. I'm also looking for tech innovators, right? Tech innovators that have an amazing, impactful tech idea, but you just simply need the capital for that. So I'm looking for those tech companies. And myself, I have tech ideas that I am currently in the middle of getting funding for. So I want to show you guys the ropes on that, and I also want to assist you in that too. Um, and I'm looking for someone serious. Like I'm looking for only serious business owners. A serious business owner is not somebody who starts something and you can't finish it. You know what I mean? Someone who has started something, but you were like, okay, I'm gonna come back to it because life is life. I'm looking for people who, no matter what, in their faces of adversity, you prioritize the mission, the mission is your business. Your business is your mission's life. Like, you know what I mean? That's what I'm looking for, because I'm that person. My business is my life, literally. Like, I dedicate all of my time to y'all, and then if it wasn't for my grant business, I wouldn't have the opportunities and the connections I have now. So I prioritize this business even when I'm emotional and even when I'm going through my own doubts and thoughts and stuff. I still have to prioritize this because it's not only bread and butter, but it's also, I love doing what I do. This is my mission. This is the purpose. Okay, so it's time to level up. I'm looking for business owners like myself who have already put in some sort of work, and you just simply need to scale. Holla at your girl. I'm the one, okay? All right, you guys, it is 1 a.m. here in Africa, so I'm going to go ahead and take it in. I want you guys to enjoy the rest of your, I think it's December 30th for y'all, so enjoy the rest of your day. I will be back on here, obviously, later on. Well, later today for me, but I will be back on here in the next couple of hours. I'll be back on here at 10 a.m. Eastern time again. All right. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. We'll wrap it up, do like a whole recap. Whatever y'all want to talk about tomorrow, 10 a.m., that's the day. Business foundations, how to start a business, what you need to start a business, like how to get into grants, how to search and apply to grants. If you want to have a business credit conversation, tomorrow is going to be the day that you literally have the open floor. All right, you got the open floor. I'm just going to sit there and I'm going to let y'all ask me questions, okay? And that's what it's going to be all about tomorrow. Literally like a free live consultation kind of thing, if you think about it for you. If you just simply want that one-on-one, literally that's going to be the last, like the last 24 hours. We're in our last 24 hours of me doing $47 one-on-one calls, okay? All right, cool. Cool. All right, so love you guys. Peace and blessings. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your night. I'm going to go ahead and tap out. Okay, it's 1 a.m. here in Africa, all the way from Nigeria. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, okay? And turn on push notifications so you won't miss me live on YouTube tomorrow morning, okay? I love you guys.